Hello, guys. Welcome back. So, the universe answers in mysterious ways. Basically, demons answer in mysterious ways. Every so often, I have one of the love and light people end up on the channel, and they thought the description of the goddess, and I was talking about the Morrigan, and you all know that sounded terrible. I'm like, no, that's just the Morrigan. She's a goddess of death and war and killing people and all this other fun stuff, and crows eating corpses, num num num. And, she has a terrible sense of humor at times, and I swear there are times she shows up drunk as a lord and, ready to party, which means ready for war, and then everything else. And then 2 minutes later, she's cute little mommy crow and she wants her Poppy Tarts. And then 2 minutes later, she's a raging queen of death and doom and prophecy. And I swear my Morrigan is completely like three sheets to the wind 80% of the time. It would describe why she's aggressive, and then she's maudlin, and then she's cuddly, and then she's ready for a fight. Or she's crazy. It's one of the two. And, she has vaguely come in and out. She comes in, she stirs up trouble because she loves to bring strife. She loves to bring challenge and conflict and cause wars and yee. And then she goes prancing out after, because she's not going to clean up the mess she made. So, she's been prancing in and out lately, and who has really come up is the demons, Satan and Lucifer, and we've been having lovely chats, and we're going to have Theistic, Satanic Christmas. We already figured it out. And I talked to them, and Asmodeus is like, what do you really want for Christmas? I said, here's my list. He said, done. Now, that does not mean that, as in a play of Faust or anything else, you just go up to a demon and you give them your list of the worldly goods you want. There's nothing about selling your soul. That's horseshit. There's nothing about, anything else. It's just you have to want it, think you deserve it, and ask for it. Now, how it comes through and the speed varies. It varies. And sometimes you're going to find a demon that's all famous for something, and it turns out they can't do it for you. You just know the way your energies mix. They can't do it for you. Mammon couldn't find me a penny in a penny jar, but as an advisor, as someone who is about self-care, he's very good. Once we understood the role that he can play in my life, we're getting along a lot better. Asmodeus is the one for me for finances and everything. And, again, like I said, with Mammon, he's wandering off towards the ponies and all the gambling and that as well. We've probably lost a ton of their moves. Plus, I have, since it's the season, I have gods coming forward and claiming, I am so and I am such, and why are you talking to this god over here? Because this god never answers you. And it is me. It is me. It is I. And, the demons are a lot happier with that. And, I know it says Asmodeus here because he acts a certain way. Especially when you're on Pinterest. And I swear to all the satanic powers, I'm on Pinterest and I'm looking around, and anytime Asmodeus is with me, the other side likes to come and poke and poke. And this angel pin came up, and I got this little thing. But then this statue came up for a kid's birthday, and it's all blinged out, and it's like not even a statue, I think it was actually a cake, but it's like all blinged out with lights and everything. And it's in Spanish, and it took me a second to translate the name to Gabriel, and I heard behind me. And that's how I know it's him. I'll hear these hisses at stuff every so often. He takes the demon role, no matter what else you think of him, and he plays it to the hilt. He loves it. He loves the lifestyle. He loves the freedom it gives him. You're not taking it away from him. And he already has a couple things he would like on the winter sale, please. And we were talking about, should we indulge what we want right now, or should we wait a couple of days, or what? And we've been talking about, like at Christmas list I had, is it a specific date that is all fired important, or will I be just as happy to have the indulgences a day or so after? You do have to give them time. Don't wait until December 23rd and say on the 25th you want all this. You might very, very rarely, one human in a billion might get something like that. Give them time, like you give a god time. Like the old man keeps telling me, give an old man time. They can't instantaneously do it. It isn't like genie in a bottle or something, and that would be a djinn, and that would be the last entity, with all due love and respect, that I would try to press into do stuff now. So we are going to have theistic satanic Easter, and I keep getting the name Tammuz, and I know why, and it makes sense now. And sometimes I've noticed that gods will kind of hopscotch in front of each other. Sometimes they'll masquerade as each other, and sometimes they'll protect each other. Because you have to be at a stage and an age where you're ready for them. You know, when you first go into Wicca, for example, and I'm not Wiccan, we had that discussion. You get it drilled into your head that you don't even believe in Satan and you don't worship Satan, and here I am worshiping Satan, so hell, Satan and Lucifer. and, you know, and I'm like, I told them last night, I said, I love them and I'm very happy where I am. But I said, I feel like I've, kind of like, the Christians think you've already fallen when you hit Wicca. And the Wiccans think there's nothing worse than, a Satanist. And I'm like, there's nothing below Satanist that I can think of. I will find it. If it's there, I will find it. But they've been nothing but loving and kind. And Asmodeus has been running around teasing me and asking me, what if we're big, scary demons and we're going to drag you off to hell and poke you for all eternity? I said, as long as Satan's running around with his blanket on his head, we'll all be okay. That's a movie reference. Some of you are like, yeah. And, it's just, they make me happy when they're here. They lift me up. And Satan always answers with, like, smooth listening playlists. Satan answers my prayers. Lucifer answers my prayers. The demons answer my prayers. And they're like, we know you go away because either stuff doesn't manifest as fast as you want it to, or it's not manifesting with the right demon. You do have to figure out who can give you what. And it's not always, especially I'll tell you, I've learned this much. Just because a list somewhere says this is a demon of this, they might not be able to do it with you. They might be able to do something else, and you've got to learn to keep looking until you find the demon that you want. Money, fine. They don't have a problem with it. You got to find the demon and get things rolling for you. You got to find, even if they're not listed for it, if it works, that's all that matters. If it works, it works. Asmodeus might be listed for some people as doing some things and not do them with me, and he might do things with me that he doesn't do with other people. So, but theistic satanic Christmas is coming, and don't worry, we've got a lot of good stuff planned for it, and Loki's going to be included, and of course Loki's got his fox prints all over Yule, and Odin's in there too. And, we're just kind of, changing things up. But it's definitely, I know it's a good sign when I'm working with the demons again. The other side always has to come and poke at you. And I don't see them as opposing forces like good and evil or something. But it's definitely, if you're going to be with the fun side, the law and order side has to come over and poke at you and go, no, don't have fun. Don't ever have fun. Don't have fun. What are you doing? You're having fun. So... you can tell, I mean, demons, Asmodeus, can't you? So, yeah. We hope you guys have enjoyed, the day so far. And we hope you enjoyed that puzzle. You guys know I've had at least one stroke. And I had gotten to level 40 on my own. And I was too afraid to go on. I can't stand to fail. You guys know that. Asmodeus very gently badgered me until we got to level 60. And I did pretty damn good. I think maybe... No, I didn't even make a mistake. I had to take my time. My brain isn't quite there and I get confused easily. It's like you can feel your brain start to slide sideways. But he taught me to do it not the right way, not whatever way people with a fully functioning brain do, but to look at little bits and pieces, and that's how it worked. I can't really describe it. It's like asking, people that are really fluent in guitar and they tell you they really couldn't teach you. I really couldn't describe the way I'm doing it, other than I'm like, oh, I just need that part and that part. And I know I'm making it way too easy because that's how I do math, and my math never works either. So yeah, but we're having a good one, and I'm happy. All that demon energy, and they're bringing me smooth listening music. But it was funny because the person was all offended and saying that's no goddess to say about putting an old person outside. That is the least shocking thing the Morrigan said. If you don't like that, don't ever deal with the old man. The old man would be like, in my day, we would have marched her outside and left her to die because she put the people at risk. Would have too. The gods are kind of, they've been, not that they can't be loving and kind, but they've kind of been Wicca washed, as I call it, and they take all their ferocity and their blood and their claws and their fangs off of them. And I'm not saying they can't be perfectly lovely. Like people, there's this video of this little girl that lives with a wolf, and this wolf, full-blooded wolf, and he adores this little girl. She's his little girl. She's fine, but it's still a damn wolf, you know. Odin is still Odin. He's still the god of berserkers and war and frenzy and death and just stabbing people because he feels like it and stealing shit. And I go, And malicious magic. He still has that side to them. Can they be gentle and sweet and kind? Sure they can, but they still got claws on those paws. So, it's like watching Wiccans that didn't grow up as I did with those bloody, brutal wildlife things. I mean, back in my day, they were the jam because they would show you a lioness tearing an antelope open and there'd be blood going everywhere and she'd have blood all over her face. Learned from a very early age. I grew up in a farming community. Life and death are a part of nature. And Wiccans sometimes never were exposed to that. And then they find out there are terrible diseases in nature and there are all these horrible squigglies out in nature. And they find out how predators eat, and they find out how unfair life is out there. And it's like, yeah, life's a punk like that. Animals starve to death all the time. It isn't this wickified, thing of bounty. Animals starve. Animals eat their young. The young eat the young. It's, it's a beautiful life, but it's not an easy one. We were never promised that. So I'm getting rid of Tooth and Claw back here. Remember Loki, red of Tooth and Claw. It's something I've never done for him, and I keep promising him. No, we did it one year. He loves gizzards, like like the hearts and the livers, and you get those and you cook them up. My mother used to make them beautiful every Christmas. He loves that. He remember the idea of him eating a heart, yeah. And he loves organ meat. The sweetmeats, if you can get them for him. You don't have to. You can even get them minced up. If you would go to a butcher and say, "Look, I will die of horror if I have to look at tiny little hearts and tiny little livers," could you mince it up? Most of them will be happy to do it, and you could probably even buy it depending on where you go. Ready made for you, and he would be happy with that. There are these cheap ass burgers that when I used to be able to get to Aldi's had the heart meat in it. Fucking love those. So good, so good, so hearts. Cow hearts. Yum. But our gods are red of tooth and claw, and there's nothing wrong with it. Any god is red of tooth and claw. Look at the Bible. There's a god that goes, you know what? Fuck you. I'm destroying all the earth except for this one family that I'm not that pissed off. I mean, yeah, they're a disappointment, but I gotta save somebody or I gotta build them all again. So yeah, every god is red in tooth and claw. That's life. So if you guys like what you see, I got, yeah, back here. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.